This is lesson 3 on circumference. In today's lesson we're going to look at how to find the circumference of semicircles and quarter of a circle. Alright guys, what is the circumference of a circle? Quick reminder, it is the total distance around the outside of a circle, just as shown by here. It's the outside of the circle. It's another name for perimeter. Alright guys, the circumference of a circle, the formula is pi times the diameter. Another way we can learn this formula is using the mnemonic cherry pies are delicious. Another way to write this formula out is using the diameter when it equals to 2 times the radius is circumference equals 2 pi r. Find the circumference of a semicircle. So let's look at the semicircle. What is already given to us is the diameter. The diameter is 10 centimeters. To find the circumference of a semicircle, we must first find the circumference of the full circle. So using the formula, circumference equals pi times the diameter. We must substitute in the values because we're already given the diameter. So circumference equals pi times the diameter, which is 10. We can rewrite this as 10 pi. And now if you use that, if you put that into your calculator, you will get the answer of 31.459 centimeters. I haven't rounded it up just yet because we need to find the circumference of the semicircle. If you left your answer at 10 pi, this is also accepted as an answer. So we're trying to find the circumference of a semicircle. So if I have a full circle and I want to find the circumference of the semicircle, all you do is half it. Okay, so we need to divide the circumference by 2 because we're trying to find the circumference of a semicircle. So remember, the circumference equals 10 pi. We can divide it by 2 and that will give me an answer of 5 pi. So the circumference of a semicircle can be written as 5 pi, or if you want to write the numbers down, you will write down 31.459 and whatever the other numbers were, and you divide this by 2. Now your answer here should be given as 15.707, or if you rounded it up, 15.7 centimeters. Okay, so your circumference of a semicircle is 15.7 centimeters to 1 decimal place. Okay, now if the question said to you find the total perimeter, what you would need to do is add the diameter to the circumference. So you already got your circumference of your semicircle, which is 15.7 centimeters, and you know that the diameter is 10 centimeters. So you gotta do basically is just add them up. So 15.7 centimeters, which is your circumference of the semicircle, add that to the diameter of 10 centimeters, will give you an answer of 25.7 centimeters. Find the circumference of a semicircle where the radius is now 7 centimeters. So the radius is 7 centimeters. Again, what we need to do is find the circumference of a full circle first. This time we will use the other formula for finding the circumference, which is circumference equals 2 pi the radius. Okay, 2 pi r. Now we already know what the radius is, which is 7 centimeters, so we can substitute that value into this formula. So you get 2 times pi times r, which is now 7 centimeters. Okay, now if you multiply that through, you would get 14 pi, and if you put that into your calculator, your answer will be 43.982 and so on centimeters. I haven't rounded it up just yet because we're trying to find the circumference of a semicircle, and this is the circumference for a full circle. Okay, so if we're trying to find the circumference of a semicircle, we must half the circumference of a full circle. So we need to divide it by 2. Okay, so write it down. Circumference equals 14 pi, and we need to divide that by 2. So that gives me 7 pi. But if you use the numbers, your answer would be 43. That's your circumference, 43.982. Divide that by 2, and your answer would be 21.99. Now if we rounded that up, that would give me 22 centimeters to 1 decimal place. Okay, now if the question stated add the diameter to get the total perimeter, how would you do that? Okay, remember your radius is equal to 7 centimeters. Now the diameter is equal to 2 times the radius, or 2r. So we already know what the radius is. It's 2 times 7. So your diameter is therefore 14 centimeters. Okay, we already got the circumference of the semicircle, which is 22 centimeters, and you got your diameter is 14 centimeters. You add them together. Remember, this is your circumference of the semicircle, which is 22 centimeters, and this is your diameter of 14 centimeters. So 22 centimeters plus 14 centimeters will give me the total perimeter of 36 centimeters. Okay, we need to find the circumference of a quarter of a circle. What is already given to us, which is the radius. The radius is 2 centimeters. Again, we need to use the circumference of a full circle. The formula for the circumference of a full circle is circumference equals pi times the diameter. The diameter is 2 times the radius. So the radius here is 2 times 2. So the diameter must be 4 centimeters. Okay, so we substitute that into our formula. So circumference equals pi, the diameter, which is 4, and your answer is 4 pi. You can write it as this, it will be accepted, but if you write the full answer, it will be 12.5663 centimeters. So this is the circumference of a full circle. We need to find the circumference of a quarter of a circle. So we need to divide the circumference by 4, okay? Because that's how you get a quarter of a circle. So remember, the circumference is equal to 4 pi, or 12.5663 centimeters. That is for a full circle, circumference for a full circle. So if you wanted to find the circumference of a quarter of a circle, we must find a quarter of the circumference. So a quarter of 12.5663 centimeters is equal to 3.1415 centimeters. Okay, now if the question said to you find the total perimeter, we must add the diameter to the circumference. Remember, this is the circumference that you just worked out, which is 3.1415 centimeters, and you want to work out the perimeter. The radius is already given to you as 2 centimeters, so this side must also be 2 centimeters. Add them up together, the total will give you 3.1415 plus the radius on one side and the other radius to give you a total of 4 for the diameter. Remember, the diameter is 4. You can simply just write in there 4, and the answer here will give me 7.1415. If you round that up, that will give you 7.1 centimeters to 1 decimal place. If you are in set 3 and 4, please have a go at all sections, pick 2 from each section. If you want set 5, please have a go at only the red and amber questions, pick 2 from each section. And if you want to challenge yourself, have a go at the green section. Please upload your answers to Clash Dots.